Installing Winnix so you don't have to. I've known about Winnix for a while. I've never really looked at it seriously, so I don't really know too much about it. All I know is it's a weird, very weird Linux bizarre system I don't fully understand why it exists, to be entirely honest.
Winnix. Winnix is a Linux distro that combines the stability of modern Ubuntu with your questionable
Well, that's debatable.
fondness for the Windows 11 aesthetic.
Very
But
fun.
is this a real distro, or is it more of a joke? Well, today, to find out, we're installing it on this, a brand new, right out of the box Geekum Geekbook X14 Pro that I'd like to make my primary laptop. We're doing weird
Sorry,
Linux
is that
stuff.
Geekum Geekbook. That is a real product name. Moving on from that.
Stuff again, so stay tuned.
Ooh.
And if you enjoy installing normal Linux on weird computers and weird Linux on normal computers, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I've been hunting around for a new daily driver laptop for a while. My previous one was an 11-inch Intel MacBook Air with 4 gigs of RAM.
Oh,
which
wait,
I
that was
love.
back when it had the nice...
An
Wait.
11
Yeah, that's back when it had the old keyboard. Look at that fucking bezel, man. Oh my god. I forgot how big laptop bezels used to be. Apple was like one of the better ones at the time, but man. What is that? A good, probably inch and a half? Maybe 2-inch bezel?
Intel MacBook Air with 4 gigs of RAM, which I love, but that thing's a bit limited. I then started testing Ubuntu for T2 Macs on a touch bar
Touch bar, not touch screen.
MacBook Pro 13, but that's a bit unreliable and a bit long in the tooth, and even after swapping in a new battery, it doesn't last as long as I'd like. And forget playing games on 10-year-old hardware, at least anything more demanding than Brotato. But we'll have a separate video on the Touch Bar Mac Linux experience. When Geekum generously offered to sponsor today's video, they also sent me this, their brand new Geekbook X14 Pro, which has been getting some pretty positive press lately. It has an Intel Ultra 9 185H, 32 gigs of LPDDR5 memory, which is worth more than my car at this point, and Intel Arc graphics, which are much better than you're probably thinking. The M2 slot in here supports PCIe Gen 4 and is currently populated with a 2TB drive. This thing has 2 USB-C ports and, absolutely amazing, a USB Type-A port. I also really love the camera kill switch.
That's nice.
And I really love the full-size HDMI port. But there are 2 specific reasons why I'm leaning towards this laptop as my Linuxy daily driver.
Okay.
You can probably guess the first one. The size and form factor of this thing is very similar to the 13-inch MacBook Pro. That's a magnesium unibody. It's also like half a pound lighter than the MacBook Pro, which was surprising. But the biggest pro that this thing has over nearly any other laptop in this size and price point, a beautiful 120 Hz 2.8K OLED display.
Ooh.
I've wanted to daily drive an OLED laptop for a long time. And spoilers, this display does not disappoint. But if this thing is going to be my daily driver Linux
I have considered getting like an OLED display for like my desktop. I don't know though. I've not fully convinced.
laptop, it has to run Linux. And because I like to live life on the edge, it has to be a weird Linux. Enter Winnix. All right, before we boot this off of the Winnix installer, why don't we pull up Steam and get a baseline for how this thing performs under its native Windows 11.
What are we gonna run?
And that also means we can use my favorite hamster mouse because we have our USB Type-A port. We don't need to have a silly string of dongles sticking out the side. Yeah, just take a look at how well BeamNG Drive performs on this thing. BeamNG Drive is, of course, a very taxing CPU-heavy game with extremely complex physics. Oh, look at this. Not only does it works freaking great. And this OLED display looks freaking incredible.
It's really hard to tell on the camera. It looks rough on the camera,
I do
but
think I've messed
I'll
this
take his
one
word
up.
for it. Like, I've had my current display, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years at this point. And it's not something where I'm like, I need a new display, but it's certainly something I've heavily considered.
We've also got Vane, which is an early access game on Steam, and also very intensive. Yeah, look how well this runs on this laptop. And I'd just like to point out, this is not intended as a gaming laptop. No, this is an ultra portable that's really geared towards battery life and stable performance. My goodness, look how well this runs.
Maybe
this
if you
is
included
way
the
better
frame rate,
than
I'd
I
be able to tell.
expected. On this 2.5K display, OLED, it looks and runs smooth. Oh my god, is this a chef? It's a zombie chef! I will stab you with my pliers. Stab you with my pliers. Zombie chef. I love that this comes with this kind of power brick instead of the huge old school laptop power supplies. Don't miss those.
Yeah.
USB installer into our luxurious full-size USB Type-A port. And then we will just spam F7 at boot.
Apparently you can just hold the button in like a lot of systems. I didn't realize that. I am very much in the spam camp.
We need to go down to setup because we need to turn off secure boot so we can boot this thing. Secure boot disabled. Oh yeah, like that boot up graphic. Built-in EFI shell. No.
You can hold. That's what I've been told at
Did
least.
you not flash correctly? All right, Winnix USB attempt 2. And we will choose USB disk 3.0 PMAP.
PMAP.
Oh, look at this. Select operating system Windows theme over Linux. Well, I know it's doing something because the USB drive is blinking away. Oh, it's doing stuff. Look at that. Here we are. Winnix. And it does not seem to like this resolution that much. This is a 2.5K display. Now, Winnix here
Well, we're off to a great start.
is KDE over Ubuntu, just themed for Windows.
So, what is Winnix built off of? What version of? Because I doubt it's running the latest version of KDE. What are we running? Ubuntu. Oh. It's running Plasma 5. Oh. I see. Right. Because built off of Ubuntu LTS. Okay.
Users. So since KDE would be fine with this display, Winnix should as well. All right, yeah, we can just scale this up a bit. 150. It does not seem to want to change the scale. Maybe it needs a restart. Let's do a full install. All right, already this isn't totally promising because there is text that I can't see.
You can resize
I think
the
again
window,
this
surely?
is to do with scaling issues on this display. All right, New York, yeah, close enough. Keyboard. We will erase the disk and do the whole thing as Winnix. What is my name? All right, name of this computer, Geekbook. We will do a strong and secure password.
Very strong,
Definitely not
very
just the
secure.
word action in all lowercase because that would be insecure.
For sure.
And install. Goodbye, Windows 11. Hello, Winnix. hopefully jump cut to install complete. All right, install complete. Let's
It's based on 2404, not 2004. 2004 would be crazy.
restart. Oh, I hope we get to see that at startup every time. I love it. Oh, it's working. It's booting into Winnix. And it's still way too small. Sign in with my strong and secure password here. Oh, look, it says something about Copilot in the corner, except I can't quite make it out.
What?
Let's see. Start menu. Yes. All right, system settings. Let's see if we can fix this display scaling. Say okay. Do I have to restart? Maybe just log out. My friends, we are already experiencing some issues with Winnix. Look, I don't think that worked. Yeah, we're still in tiny scale. Yeah, global scale is set, but it doesn't like it. Maybe it can only do 200. It sees that we're at 120 hertz. I mean, I guess we could change the actual resolution, but then we lose some of the sharpness of this beautiful screen.
Idea.
Okay, found kind of a happy medium.
Good old pre-6. Oh, yeah, it would be excellent. Yeah. It oh.
I'm here at 2560 by 1600, even though it's not the native display of this machine, so it's not as crisp as it should be. But what I want to do now is just connect this to the internet, and they gave me this little dongle here. It actually comes in the box. So we'll go wired, which of course this thing does also have Wi-Fi.
Sure.
Okay, so we've already found some issues here with Winnix. Of course, the resolution could be fixed in the command line, but I'm not going through that much effort here. Winnix is intended for people who are moving from Windows to Linux and should not require such
I don't know who it's intended for, actually.
configuration. I'm gonna stick my hamster mouse
I feel like the only function this has is to troll scammers.
dongle in, make sure everything works. Yeah, it works. So by default on here, we do have some applications installed. Our web browser, of course, is Microsoft Edge, just like Windows 11, because there is a Linux port of Microsoft Edge, which of course now is just based on Chromium. What is this slideshow it's making me sit through?
Welcome to
Is
Edge.
Firefox on here by default?
Nope.
It is not. But we are not dealing with Microsoft Edge. So let's see. Software, I think, is in Discover.
I'm glad Puzzle 6 defaulted to cute scaling, as I hope that'd count to the panel choice. Right.
Let's get Firefox through the Software Center. Strong and secure password. All right, while that installs, we have some other applications.
Wait.
Insecure
It's installing the snap because it's just Ubuntu.
password.
Okay.
All right, while that installs, we have some other applications on here. In fact, quite a lot. We have an Android emulator and file transfer, video downloader, an emoji selector for the millennial in us all. All your favorite KDE stuff is in here. Selector for the millennial
That is themed so weirdly.
in us all. All your favorite KDE stuff is in here, like Console and KDE Connect and KMag and KTorrent. But something they've added to Winnix, which I think is a good idea, all these shortcuts to Microsoft Office applications, which will allow you to open documents that you could already open in your original Windows install. Again, this distro is intended for people switching from Windows to Linux to give them a familiar user experience while still using KDE and Ubuntu under the hood.
This would give me such a fucking weird feeling if I actually was using this. If I was a Windows user who went to this, something would just feel wrong and broken.
Oh, we actually have Steam on here by default. All right. Oh, there comes Steam. All right, let's just download a
The
few
glorious Steam GTK downloader thing that's always broken. Gotta love it.
games so we can
Never looks
test
right.
out the power of the Geekum under Winnix. We, of course, need BeamNG
Boom
Drive.
and
Give Vane a shot again. Tear Down, one of my favorite games of all time. And yes, these are Windows games we're downloading. And we are not on Windows, we're on Winux, but Steam has Steam Proton, meaning any Linux distro that can run Steam can probably run Windows games. Okay, while that stuff downloads, let's see which of the features of this laptop work under Linux. So we've got backlit keyboard works, screen brightness works.
The backlit,
so we've got
the backlit keyboard's gonna work because that's not actually controlled by the operating system. That's firmware. Yeah, that's definitely gonna work.
Backlit keyboard works, screen brightness works, volume works, mute works. Wow, even lock works. Look, the lock screen works. Everything works.
I think those are default bound in KDE.
I still remember the days when you'd have to fiddle with Linux to get it to work. All right, we do have a Copilot button on this laptop, and one of the features of Winnix,
Ubuntu's a different one.
That there is Copilot built in. So if we hit this button, does Copilot come up? It does not. But we do have access to it down in the corner here, which I don't know why you'd want to run Microsoft Copilot. But if you do, it's there.
My housemate uses it a lot.
AI in everything. Okay, let's check our Steam games, and then we will test out one of the most controversial aspects of this operating system.
It existing.
So first we'll try Teardown, a game I love and which is quite taxing, but ran very well on this machine under Windows 11. And here it is running under Steam Proton. Nice. Man, this screen is absolutely beautiful. Just the blacks. You cannot beat the blacks on this OLED. Yeah, look, we even got our mod manager. Let's load into that same cyberpunk map. Well, unfortunately, it won't go past the loading screen here. It's not happy. Let's see if we could just pick a different Steam Proton version. Let's do experimental. All right, well, apparently no teardown. Let's try.
Let's see. Is teardown actually problematic, or is this just Winnix things? Teardown Proton DB. I don't know about this game. I've never heard of it. It's got a gold rating, so it's probably just Winnix stuff. Completely playable unless you have teardown installed on an NTFS drive. Why the fuck are you running games from an NTFS drive? Are you a psycho? Yeah, I don't know why it's not working for him. I don't know if it's like a modded session. He didn't install the mod or something.
Beam NG drive. The entire reason behind this project. Uh-oh. Oh, let's just try it.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. That was running it native.
Different version of Steam Proton. Oh yeah, look at that.
Always. It's always the case. Why do I... Ah, man. Although this game has a Linux native build available, Steam does not list it as having Linux support. This can happen if the game has an unofficial, unfinished, or unsupported build. So I guess they're maybe they're working on one, or they started working on one, or something. Others can get it to work, so maybe it's like a new thing. They're just working on it. It's still kind of buggy.
Steam Proton is basically magic. All right. Honestly, it plays great. We've got audio, good frame rate. Color me impressed. All right, dare we try Vane? Of the three test...
Oh, you DC'd. Stream? Stream. Come back, stream. And we should be back now. Yes. Yes. Okay.
All right, dare we try Vane? Of the 3 test games, I expect this one to work the least. Oh, well, shockingly, we're launching. Look at that. Oh, man, are we going to play Vane? Yeah, look at that.
I don't
We're
see why it
playing
wouldn't work.
Vane. The frame rate is much worse than Windows 11, but it is running. I mean, can you imagine having this experience on Linux back in the day? Everything just...
Let's have a look. Proton, DB, Vane. Also, I don't know what sort of driver versions this thing's running. Oh. He's running the native build. He didn't change. I don't think he changed it. Did he?
Of the 3...
Yeah, no, he didn't change. He's playing the native build. Yep, I'm not surprised it runs worse then.
Test games, I expect this one to work the least. Oh, well, shockingly, we're launching. Look at that. Oh, man, are we going to play Vane? Yeah, look at that. We're playing Vane. The frame rate is much worse than Windows 11, but it is running. I mean, can you imagine having this experience on Linux back in the day? Everything just working for the most part, and you can run Windows games off of Steam. I mean, this is not a mainstream Linux distro, but it is based on one. If your Linux
From about 3 years ago.
distro can run Steam, you can run just about anything. Okay, let's talk about the most controversial aspect of this operating system. All of the features of this distro are not available unless you pay for it. There's a paid Power Tools upgrade to get all the features of this distro. And back when we covered Ubuntu on this channel, I did in fact pay the $15 for the extra features. And I'm really curious to see if my Ubuntu license key will work here on Winnix. I mean, it should. They're really the same operating system, just with slightly different branding. All right, I've got my license key here.
I don't see why it
Jump
would.
cut to, I'm going to enter it.
Different
We'll
things.
see if it works. Oh boy, it sure does not. Now, that's kind of a shame. I'm not paying for this again. Now, let's just try to open some of these weird applications to see what they do. 4K video downloader. Okay, it is what you would expect.
Why would you include?
Android. Power Tools Android support. I guess we have to pay for that. Maybe not. How's the webcam on this thing?
Pay
Oh,
for the
look at that.
webcam.
The kill switch works.
That's good.
Excellent. You have a Heroic Games launcher, which I have no idea what Heroic Games is. Epic. Oh, it's the Epic Store. Oh, so I could download Magic the Gathering.
If you
And
really
jump
want
cut to I have installed Ubuntu on this thing.
Just immediately swaps.
Because I'm really curious to see if Ubuntu works better than Winnix.
Probably.
Because Winnix is based on Ubuntu, but I think a slightly older version of Ubuntu than this.
Quite.
This is 2510, the last release of Ubuntu, and it runs GNOME. As opposed to modified KDE like Winnix does. So I've installed Steam, I've installed our test games. Let's try BeamNG Drive. Also worth noting is that GNOME has no such issues with the high density display, 2.5K.
Yeah, because it's running Wayland and a modern version of GNOME, not KDE from 5 years ago. Yeah, that'll happen.
Everything is scaled perfectly, right out of the box. Oh yeah, it sure does work. Performance seems to be about on par with Winnix. Again, makes sense because Winnix is built on Ubuntu, and now we're just running straight Ubuntu. Pretty cool. Check BeamNG off the list. All right, Teardown does not want to work under Steam Proton for some reason.
I don't know why this game's having so many problems.
Vane. All right, well, that was fun. Winnix. It's like Windows.
Why did you not show Vane?
But it's Linux.
Did you
but
cut
let's
that
be real, I'm
accidentally?
not going to keep Winnix on my daily driver machine. I'm probably going to keep Ubuntu on here unless I get frisky and try to install Arch. I really do rather quite like this laptop, though. I mean, just look at this thing next to a 13-inch MacBook Pro. It's like perfect. So thanks again to Geekum for sending me your Geekbook X14 Pro. I really do frickin' love it, and if you're in the market for a new ultra-portable but powerful laptop that really doesn't break the bank, you can't go wrong with this thing. OLED! Beautiful OLED! But that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, and as always, thank you very much for watching. And I just want to give a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and
Arch plus Hyperland plus Neri. Yes. All three at once, Hyperland and... both of them at once, Hyperland and Neri running together. Hyperland embedded on Neri. Yes, that is the plan. I don't know why Vane wasn't working. I imagine there's probably something. I've never played this game. The other one, the fucking... I remember what it's called. I don't know why it wasn't working. The only game that I've run into that just doesn't work